What is good, people? We're back here today with some amazing Pokemon content, and today we're going to be talking about the most disrespectful tier changes yet. These are easily the most outrageous tier changes I've ever seen. And I know I always be making the title look so gas and the thumbnail look so fired, to get the viewers in, but trust me when I say that these are the most disrespectful tier changes yet. This shit was jaw-dropping. It was so crazy that I'm even going to talk about UU and RU because this type of disrespect is just too crazy. But yes, we finally got the tier changes as December has rolled around, and just look at this. Look at this right now. First of all, I see Blaziken in UU, which just means if I dropped the video a day earlier, perhaps we could have saved him. But as I said, that shit went to UU. Zapdos Galarian went to UU. We got Slowking the God in OU, but then look at NU, people. Look at NU. You're telling me Rhyperior is an NU Pokemon? You're telling me Virizion is an NU Pokemon? You're telling me Zoroark, that me and Joey took to the top of the ladder in OU, is an NU Pokemon? So obviously we had to expose the bullshit here, right? So I had to make a video about this. I thought it'd be pretty fun. And yeah, another thing though I do gotta say before I go any further is that I'm going to be doing a little giveaway on my Twitter. And it's because of the agency. You guys have been giving so much love over the year. This has been a blast. Like I said, this used to just be like my after school hobby, this YouTube shit, and you guys turned it into something so much more. So we're doing a little giveaway here. All you gotta do is go on my Twitter. I'll link the tweet and retweet the tweet, and then tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna just be picking a winner to just gift 152 randomly on PayPal. So yep, you don't gotta follow or nothing, just retweet so that your name is registered in the thing. And yeah, I'll link the tweet. So thank you guys for showing love. We're gonna be doing a lot of fun stuff this week because we got the agency pyramid revamp collection dropping this Friday, unlimited stock this time. This shit is gonna be the best one yet, so get ready for that. But let's hop into it and talk about these Gen 8 OU tier changes. Now we got a lot to talk about. First, we're gonna talk about the rises, then we're gonna get into OU as a whole and everything else. But first of all, first of all, we see that Hydreigon and Tapu Lele went back to OU. Very good, right? Those ones are great. Hippo is also great. Blaziken and Zapdos are UU, bro. This is crazy. This is insane. How can you go from Uber to UU? Like, it's so disrespectful. And we have to go look at the usage stats here to see. Blaziken is 41. It barely fell off the cut. You need 4.52% usage, and this guy had 4.41. This is crazy. You see what I mean, people? The disrespect. A disrespect to an old Uber. Shall we forget that this mon was banned 3 gens in a row? Sorry. Yeah, 3 gens in a row. For what? Just to come back in the Crown Tundra and be thrown in UU. That's incredible. It just goes to show that the power, creep is insane. And another thing, people, are Smogon tiers fried? What are we supposed to do when the game moves at such a insane rate like this? Like, the power creep is so brainlessly crazy. I mean, we had shit like Tarak and RU last cycle, and you can say that it only lasts for 2 weeks, but look at some of the things that went from like RU to NU. We need to just talk about that. First of all, Blaziken going down is pretty crazy. I think it's going to get banned from UU. I think people have just not explored this thing's potential. Once I used the set without Flare Blitz and I used it in electric terrain, I was very impressed. But perhaps that's quite a restriction for a mon to work, having to run it in terrain and all that. But it's just, yo, how can speed boost Uber's Blaziken be in UU? This is crazy. I know I always shit talk it, but this is my doing. This is my fault. I'm happy about Zapdos Galarian because I made that call very early on. I said once the hype wears off, there's no way this mon's gonna stay around because it's like a physical fighting Pokemon, right? That's like, it has too much competition from Urshifu, Pheromosa, all that stuff. So I knew this thing was gonna fall off pretty quickly, and it makes sense that this thing is UU. However, my boy Aegislash is in UU too. I forget. It's just, oh my god. We look at UU to RU. I don't really care about these guys. Now we need to look at NU, right? NU is the worst tier ever because I don't consider ZU to be a real tier or PU or any of that bullshit. First of all, I don't play lower tiers for this exact reason. What is this? What is this? You making your own tier where my past OU dons are No, I'll never play lower tiers for this reason. So we look at NU, and it's crazy. I see so many agents. I see so many agents in NU. I see Aerodactyl. I see Arcanine. I see Archeops. What's stopping me from coming in with my Meteor Beam Archeops and blowing this whole tier away? I want to know how so many things failed to make 4.5% usage in RU. You see, what is this? Galarian Slowbro. You see Rhyperior and NU is the craziest one to me, because Rhyperior is a mon that gets such massive usage in OU, right? Like, people love this mon. I look at my teams, and I have a Rhyperior team, I'm pretty sure. Or is it? I'm probably blind. Okay, yeah. See, look, I have 2 Rhyperior teams back to back right here. And it's a great mon. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic, Rock Blast. I got nothing to worry about here. On both sets, that thing puts in quite a bit of work. People run Swords Dance. There was even a time in Gen 8 OU when people were really spamming Choice Banded. And Choice Banded was so hard to beat because it would have Heat Crash to hit Skarmory. It would one-hit KO Fizz Def Amoonguss because, like, Rhyperior is strong. 140 attack. It's got Earthquake, Heat Crash, Stone Edge, Heavy Slam, Mega Horn. Like, this thing's move pool is crazy. So to see an amazing mon like Rhyperior fall down even lower into NU, it's like, bro, what are we doing? What are we do? Rhyperior, man, give this video a like if Rhyperior is a true agent, man. Like who? Look at all the Pokemon disrespected here. I see both Articunos down here, but that's a given. Charizard, another mon that's used a lot in OU, is now down to NU. I'm sure that has to do because of Heatrans come up. Caparage goes down to NU. Crest in NU is crazy. Durant in NU, another just shameful thing. Flygon in NU is something I just cannot understand. How the hell can a mon like Flygon be pushed down that low? Y'all seen our Flygon team. That team is crazy. That team is crazy with the Spadef Flygon to take the hits, defog, keep the momentum. This thing is crazy, but I don't even understand how it fell off from UU and RU. My man has some offensive potential. I've always thought offensive Flygon was pretty ass. 100 attack stat is like the worst attack stat I've ever heard of. But people, how did we let this happen? How did we let Flygon go to NU? This is cursed. Flygon goes down to NU. Golisopod down to NU is crazy. Another one we got a lot of mileage out of in OU. I can't really speak on a lot of these. I haven't used them. Lucario, Machamp, Mantine. Bro, what? What? How can Machamp be so bad that it goes to NU? Same with Lucario. These mons are just inherently good Pokemon, right? What happened? We need to change the tiering system for sure. This 4.5% shit is whack. It used to be 3.14%. I don't know why it was pi, but I think it was 3.14 or 3.4, something like that. But we need to go back to that system, people. How can we be at 4.52% usage? My boy's Machamp, Lucario being down here. Mantine is very interesting as well, because I feel like if you go to usage-based stats and you look for Mantine, you see it has like 0.2% usage, which I guess, I don't know. But if you compare it to a lot of other Pokemon in this, like a lot of these NU Pokemon, they find their usage up in OU. And these are 1695 stats too. So, yo, that's actually kind of crazy. Like the meme Pokemon you'd see, like Rhyperior with 0.6%, stuff like that. Like some of these mons have usage in OU for real, but they're down in NU. Look at Crest. Crest nearly had 1% usage on the ladder in OU. Nearly 1%, and it's an NU. That's crazy. Shit, like, it just goes to show that OU is easily the best tier because you can use whatever you want. So, Smogon, I think it's time to get rid of all of these lower tiers and make OU the prime tier. No, I'm joking, kind of. But I guess OU really is just, you can use whatever you want, because a lot of these Pokemon are getting put down into lower tiers just because based on their lack of usage. But they have quite the viability in OU. But Mantine down here is pretty crazy. I guess a lot of these mons must just have some type of niche in OU where they check, like, the specific type of overpowered Pokemon like Dragapult or Heatran. But then what, they're just useless in UU and RU? That's why I'm so confused. How did my boy Mantine get thrown down here to NU? It's tough. It's tough. Mienshao NU, not even gonna talk on that. That thing has gotten like worse. As like in this gen, it's definitely worse. It sucks that it got worse. I love Mienshao. It was one of the top tier threats back in Gen 5, and people even found ways to make it good in Gen 6 and 7. But it sucks that it's fucked up in Gen 8. Don't use Melodic, don't use Noivern. Obstagoon is insane. The fact that Obstagoon is NU makes no sense. I thought Obstagoon was OU. I literally thought Obstagoon was OU. It makes no sense for this mon to be NU. Like, it doesn't. This is a good Pokemon. People would say that, oh, Urshifu is better, but they're wrong. Urshifu might be better, but it's not a complete outclass. I think Obstagoon is very good because you can run Flame Orb with Switcheroo, which obviously can, you know, cripple something. You have the bulk up option, Facade, Knockoff. It has access to close combat, and it also has access to Parting Shot. Like, this mon is very good, and I feel like teams don't exist where it's like, oh, I'm not afraid to switch into Obstagoon. Fuck out of here. Yeah, you are. That shit is crazy. Like, that thing is always scary to switch into. You can have, like, the best thing you can have is like a Fizz Def, a Skarm, or Corviknight, and even then, that's not a, you know, that's not a full counter. If the thing is bulk up, close combat, or even switcheroo to give you the flame orb. And then of course this thing has access to knockoff. So I don't know, this thing is like, it's really good. I've run this set mostly, switcheroo, facade, bulk up. I don't really run CC, but you can definitely run CC to hit the Ferrothorns and stuff like that. But yeah, Obstagoon is really good. Its typing is great too. The fact that it walls Spectrier completely, can switch into ghost moves as a whole, resist dark, immune to psychic. The speed's good. The physical defense and HP are pretty good. The Spadef is just average, but all around, like, this thing is a good mon. Like, this thing is straight up a good Pokemon. So the fact that it's somehow finding itself in NU makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, what the hell? What is Obstagoon's usage? It's 0.6%, right next to Rhyperior. Damn, like, the disrespect is crazy. The tiering system is fried. It is fried, bro. What is this? My man Obstagoon, Omastar, haven't used it enough, so you can't really question it. I assume it's just a meme pick on Rain and OU, but I haven't really done my Obstagoon video yet, so I'm gonna withhold on making comments about that shit yet. But let's see what else we got here. We got Sandcastle. I only used this shit once. Pangoro's great, but that thing I think was NU before. All these are like NU staples. Reuniclus and NU is like, what? But I guess there's too much ghost and dark sauce out there. I still don't understand how a Mama Magic guard like this, and that's not like Clefairy, could be chilling in NU. I'd like to see its usage. I'd like to see its usage. What's that thing called? Reuniclus? 103. It's even above Rhyperior and Obstagoon. This is crazy. My boy Mimo, who's number 3 on the ladder right now, even got up there with this Reuniclus Dracozolt Sand. Oh, he's number 6 now, but crazy shit. Crazy shit. Rhyperior, I don't have to talk about Rhyperior. Rybombi, another mon that's incredibly good in OU. That shit always puts up numbers like LeBron. Every single game gets the web up, stun spores 1 or 2 things, can even do half with Moonblast. People be staying there with their Landers, is getting hit up. Like, yeah, you telling me that's just literally LeBron James. So yeah, I don't know. That thing is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that thing always puts in like a shit ton of work. I never really complained much about Rybombi and OU because that thing always just like, he comes correct. He knows exactly what we want. It's phenomenal. So Rybombi is a top agent. The fact that this thing is NU, another disrespectful move. I'm not gonna talk about these 3. Scyther's probably ass. I know I used it in OU, but it's probably ass all around. Shark is Shark, tough. Gotta run Destiny Bond. Shiftry, these guys I can't really speak on. Toxtricity being NU and Sylveon being NU is pretty insane because those have an OU purpose. And then the last row, I'm really just surprised about Zoroark. That's really surprising. The fact that Zoroark is in NU. I don't understand how that's possible. Zoroark, but like its ability is so crazy that it should just automatically be above because that ability is overpowered. I don't understand how that shit can be so good in some tier like OU and then fall off in lower tiers. But yeah, this is basically a little small section of the video where I wanted to talk about how the tiering system's got to be fried. 4.5% must be too much or something. Cause like, what are these stats now? Like, this is another thing, right? We're gonna go and look at the Sword and Shield lower tiers. I have ZU not included because that's not a real. Even PU, I think that shit. Do these have ladders? I guess they're real if they have a ladder. PU has a ladder, but ZU doesn't have a ladder. So I guess we'll consider PU a real tier then. I just had to make sure it was a real tier before I included it in the video. So PU is a real tier. But anyway, you look at the lower tier usage stats here, and you can see the mons that rule the metas. I don't play none of these, but this shit's pretty crazy. You see Celesteela, Hydreigon, Scizor, Volcarona, and Hippo at the top. This literally looks like a Gen 5, like top 5, minus Celesteela. These 4 were like Gen 5 goats. You look at Aryu, you see Conk and Zaruda at the top. You see my boy Kyurem, a true agency pick, is chilling at number 8. What? Togekiss? That shit is so annoying in OU. Number 9 in RU? What? Yo, these mons can't even put up numbers in their own tiers, barely getting double-digit % usage. What the fuck? Your numbers are garbage. What is this? You see NU, you see Aegiseptile up at 18.5% usage. You see other like fringe stuff we use in OU like Vaporeon, and then you go down to PU and you get the real like dog shit besides Sandaconda. But yeah, that's crazy. You can see in UU even Komodo is at 14% usage. This thing was like the scourge of OU. Damn, Zero Aura is now at the top of UU, kind of falling out of favor a bit in OU. Mence, Aegislash. Bro, how is Aegislash not even top 3? That thing used to be an Uber. I think the most insane thing is when you see top Ubers just get thrown to like a lower tier. That's like the biggest culture shock. I'm sure that's how people felt when stuff like Celebi and Mew ended up being UU in Gen 5 and 6 and shit. People were probably like, what the hell? These used to be insane Ubers, blah, 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 blah. But hey, you got to get with the times. The curve is here. So that's basically a segment on how Smogon's tiering. I don't know. Maybe there's a fix in store, or maybe that's just the system right now. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is this 4.52% usage and we're supposed to have tiers like this. But it sort of makes me wonder, at what point are we going to get to way too high of a like power creep? Like, this shit is crazy. Rhyperior, Flygon, Lucario in NU. Porygon Z is in NU. Who can kill my brother Cresselia in the NU tier? Like, these questions, they must be answered. They must be answered. Porygon Z and Toxtricity have made many players #1 on the ladder. Okay, not Porygon Z, but Toxtricity, I got top 10 with. And my boy Stormzone got #1 with. So that means it's whatever. Fuck it. Now we talk about OU and we look at the top 10. This is for the, this is the top 40, the mons that made into OU for the second half of November. I'm gonna just say this top 10 is not very appealing, folks. This top 10, it's kind of ugly. I see Landorus and Clefable have taken over, as they took over the last 2 generations, and now this generation, and they're always the top 2. This is disgusting, the fact that Landorus-T came back to be #1. I thought it was gonna be a meme, but no, it literally became #1 again. I think it's hilarious because this thing is fantastic at rocking. It's a fantastic scarfer, and that's pretty much all it ever really needs to do. You can run SD Landorus, you can run all your whatever sets, but at the end of the day, the most bullshit sets to run against are just classic rocks defensive and Scarf. I had someone run Subtoxic against me, which was very, very hard to beat. I will say that Subtoxic is a set that I believe is very underrated on Landorus-T. He had Sub, Knockoff, Earthquake, Toxic. It was really tough. Physically defensive Clef loses its leftovers, gets pressured, Zapdos gets Toxic, has to hit Hurricane. And then in general, Landorus-T is pretty bulky, so it can keep subs up on a lot of things. You can Toxic, Slowbros, Buzzwole, all that shit. So that's an underrated pick. That's a little thing I wanted to share. Use a Sub, Knockoff, Toxic, Earthquake, Landorus-T. That someone send me a team with that, because that's a really, really good set. But yeah, Landorus and Clef seem to run the shit as they used to run in Gen 6 and 7. Yeah, they're even eclipsing Pheromosa. It's crazy, right? Because you always think like the mons that get banned are mons that get banned because their offensive potential is too much. That's why stuff like Pheromosa and Cinderace were banned. Melmetal. Melmetal was also banned because of its defensive capabilities, but it wouldn't have been banned just by its defensive capabilities. Stuff like Spectrier even gets questioned if it's broken because of how strong it is even with a simple move. But then stuff like Landorus-T and Clefable stays at the top of the usage, right? And then there's no question about whether these are broken because they're not. They have no discernible qualities that would make them broken. They're not overly bulky. They're not overly strong. So then what's the catch? Well, the catch is that they're just perfect. They're like the perfect glue. They're not broken by any one single characteristic, but like it begs an interesting question because I know Landorus-T had like 40% usage or some bullshit at the end of Gen 7, which definitely makes you take a step back. Like, what? How can that, why is the usage like that? Like, why is it so high? Yet Landorus-T isn't broken and we're banning Pokemon with significantly less usage. So I always kind of thought about that too, and I was like, well, does that mean that Landorus-T is broken? And I guess if you go by the fact that like certain attributes of the mon have to be outstandingly broken, then no, Landorus-T, Clefable, they're not broken. As opposed to something like Pheromosa that can get the ball rolling with a simple 1 KO thanks to Beast Boost. And Pheromosa even has less attack than Landorus-T, right? But it's the other shit, right? You look at its speed, you look at the fact that it gets Beast Boost, the fact that its moves are close combat, triple axle, U-turn, rapid spin, and that's how you kind of break it down. But Landorus-T being #1 is not a big surprise to me. That thing is, the GOAT. It was a GOAT in Gen 7, and 6. I knew it would be top 10, but being #1 is actually pretty nuts already. I guess people have really just enjoyed putting it on their teams. If I look back at a lot of the teams I have, even I have been using Landorus a decent amount. You can see on this team we have the physically defensive Stealth Rock set, just clean, check a couple of things here and there, and you turn out to keep up momentum. That's just why people like Landorus, right? Like, that is the whole point. We look at this one. I believe this one is Scarf. Yup, classic max attack, max speed Scarf. This team is really, really good. CTC is the one who made this. I was able to get top 10 with this. He actually based this off another guy's team who had, I think, a Scarf Landorus-T as well. And that's when we started using it. I got the HO team with a Sash, Rocks, Explosion Landorus. That thing will always be a good lead. And you can see, yeah, we just have a couple of different Landorus teams here, or teams rather that feature Landorus, because it's just a fantastic glue mon. Sometimes if you need something to just soft check a lot of Pokemon, that's the easiest bet. Like for example, Cinderace is a huge threat, but Landorus-T physically defensive is pretty damn good against it. So, yep, that's all I gotta say really about Landorus-T. That thing is just classic. If you haven't used Landorus-T, I don't know what you're doing. You probably just don't want to use the mainstream mon, but that thing is the GOAT for a reason. All right, I can't hate on the GOAT. Next we have Clef. Clef's doing the same shit it's been doing. I see less Calm Mind these days, which is cool. I think Calm Mind sucks. But I see a ton of Stealth Rock, and I see a ton of knockoff Clef. I think Stealth Rock has to be like the most used set. I guess I could go to Pikalytics to check that out in more depth. But yeah, I see Stealth Rock Clef quite a bit. People love that mon. Yeah, it's very consistent. I would say Clef is definitely better in this meta than it was in the last meta, in my opinion. People be loving this shit like anything. And by last meta, I mean like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, people love Clef. It's just really, really good. It's able to switch into Pheromosa and Urshifu, which, you know, everybody wants. And the fact that it's able to still switch into Will-O-Wisp, knockoff, all that, and retain whatever is pretty good. It's still the ultimate status sponge, which is why it's never going to fall out of favor. Number 2 is pretty good usage for it. I still think Wish Teleport's amazing. I also think the Unaware Heavy Duty Boots set is really, really good. If you guys haven't seen that already, people... well, this is just a specific type of Clef with a Rocky Helmet, but this one helps versus Urshifu, which I personally really, really like. This helps versus Urshifu. But yeah, you can run anything else over Encore. You can run Wish. You could run whatever you wanted. Knockoff Thunder Wave. But yeah, Clef is just the classic. It's just good. Sponges the hit. Look at a team like this, for example. You're just able to switch into a lot of mons. You can switch into Chomp, switch into Grim, switch into Slowbro, switch into Moltres, and just like kind of stall for a second. You know what I mean? Clef either forces your opponent out or lets you get some type of initiative with knockoff, Stealth Rock, recovery, and that's always frustrating for the opponent, right? They never want to give Clefable a free turn. That's always annoying. Because even then, even if Clefable is not an immediate threat, it can always pass a Wish, which will be an immediate threat because whoever comes in will likely threaten you. But these two at the top is just classic pivot bullshit. Yeah, whatever. Shameful that these have already reclaimed the throne, but to be expected. Mosa at number 3. I am very fully convinced that Pheromosa is broken. Yeah, I think it's broken. I don't know. I mean, I know there are counters like Pex. If it doesn't have Drill Run, Pex is pretty good. But I think Bandit's broken. I mean, I just think all the sets are broken, honestly. Like, it's just a bullshit mon, especially because it gets the Beast Boost activated. This one gets plus speed, but when they get plus attack, they just steamroll your team. And for the most part, I just don't think it's like it's an easy Pokemon to deal with at all. I think there's just not enough counters to it. We can look through we can say Clef is like your best bet, but a Triple Axle is one of the best moves Pheromosa got. Choice Bandit Triple Axle comes very close to killing Clefable, I think. Because it's 120 base power. It's damn strong. It's basically made it so we don't need to deal with that Poison Jab specifically for Clef anymore. Just run stupid Icicle or whatever, Triple Axle, and get rid of it that way. And it's crazy because even though fairies like Tapu Fini would check it, they can't really switch into Choice Band Close Combat or Choice Band U-Turn. Those moves are extremely strong. We have Throat Chop as the last one on here, probably to hit Ghosts, but I mean, you could end up running Rapid Spin or whatever support you wanted. I also think Quiver Dance is a very good set too, although of course you have to get something started, and hitting Focus Blast is whack, but Shockwave is cool because you're able to hit annoying ass Toxapex. But no, seriously, Mosa definitely is a mon I think is ban worthy, if not suspect test worthy for sure. I don't know why people are not using this number 1. This thing is just the GOAT. Like, it's choice set. Like, look at the mons on the field. Like, look at all this shit. Like, what even beats this? I think Protective Pads is an insane set as well because you don't get hit by Pex's helmet and you're immune to Zapdos and Moltres' bullshit with their flame body static nonsense, which is really, really nice. And Heavy Duty Boots, of course, is great too, but I think Pads is better. Either way, though, this top 3 makes sense. These are probably the top 3 mons in the meta. I just thought Mosa would have been above these two, but of course, pussies love their defensive pivots. Urshifu number 4, no surprise here. Urshifu's doing the same thing it's been doing. Banded Wicked Blow and Life Orb Wicked Blow. It's literally the exact same thing I said in the last video. I said don't waste your time with Scarf or any of that bullshit. Just run Life Orb, Black Glasses, or Banded. Don't run Scarf or anything like that. Just go straight power. Go as strong as you can with Urshifu. You can't go wrong. This thing is busted. Life Orb Poison Jab gives it the ability to circumvent Clef. Wicked Blow is the best thing here because Landorus-T fucks up so many physical attackers, right? Stuff like Cinderace and Drill has fallen off in usage more because Landorus-T destroys them. But Urshifu doesn't care about Landorus-T at all. It just clicks Wicked Blow and destroys that thing. There's no Supersonic Sky Strike or any of that bullshit anymore. Like, it definitely just manhandles Landorus, which is good. You know, I want to see that thing take care of Landorus as a physical attacker. It's always annoying when people are able to just brainlessly go to their Landorus-T and blanket check every physical attacker. That's probably one of the reasons people love Urshifu so much, because it doesn't give a fuck about Landorus-T. It just sends that thing flying. But yeah, this thing is the classic. There's a bunch of sets to run for Urshifu Dark, but like I said, I only really like running Life Orb or Choice Banded. This has Taunt 3 attack. Taunt's okay. It's like you can run Bulk Up or Poison Jab or Iron Head or whatever over that. Taunt is just what Bengay has on this team. I don't like it too much, but let's see what other ones I have. This one is Urshifu Water, so I can't show that team. This is what, yeah, this is Bulk Up 3 attack, for example. This one doesn't have close combat, but I mean, yeah, whatever. You can toy around with it. Very good mon. Ferrothorn number 5. Ferrothorn is also a mon that has been going up a lot in usage for me. I have been really impressed by Pharaoh this metagame cycle. This thing has been really, really nice. He's just been an impressive mon all around with the work he's been putting in, and he continues to keep up Spike's pressure very, very nicely. I feel like there's very few Pokemon that are able to justify the use of Spikes, because look at your options for Spikes these days. You have what? Scarm, and then what else even in here can learn Scarm? Spikes. There's no offensive Spikers these days. Nobody is getting on that train. So it's annoying. Ferrothorn is really the only option we have for Spikes. Nobody likes to run the Scarm, especially when Magnezone exists, even though it looks like Magnezone's in UU now, which is gonna make me throw up or whatever. Yeah, I mean, Ferrothorn in number 5 is good. I'll show the Ferrothorn sets I like to use. Rocky Helmet, Stealth Rock is great. This is just good because it keeps an offensive presence, right? The best thing your defensive mon can do is keep an offensive presence, in my opinion. I've always felt that way. If your defensive mon can keep an offensive presence, you're perfect, because you can continue to do defensive work while also doing damage. And that's exactly who Ferrothorn is, because this mon is damn strong with its 94 base attack. That's always been the most annoying part about this. That body press and that power whip be hitting. Your shit is getting like smacked in the face by this mon. It's great. And then Leech Seed, Stealth Rock. I have a Spike set as well. I have a couple of teams with Spikes probably. Let me look for all my Ferrothorn teams. This one's Spikes, right? See, this one's Choppleberry, which I think is very, very nice as well, because you can soak up a one-time fighting hit from a number of mons. Like, you look at this team, and it's not actually as bulky as it looks, even with the Hippo, the Magearna, and the Ferrothorn. So something like Urshifu going for CC, or even Mosa going for CC, Barrascuda going for close combat, all that type of shit. You could soak it up one time with Ferrothorn and just hit back really, really hard with a power whip against them at -1. So all that stuff definitely comes into play. Ferrothorn has a ton of options, but in the end, you're usually always running knockoff, power whip or body press, and then Spikes, Leech Seed, or whatever other hazard move you want. It's classic Ferrothorn. It's classic good. I got nothing to say. Mag at number 6. This is cool. I think Mag's been getting worse. Mag's still the best, like one of the best Pokemon, but it's been getting worse. I'm going to tell you what I think about Magearna. I think the only sets worth it on Magearna are Specs and Scarf. Yes, I think Scarf is very good. I've been using that quite a bit in my videos lately. My boy Stormzone put me on with this set. Trick, Ice Beam, Volt Switch, Focus Blast. And my buddy Mimo, who got to number 3 with his Conk team, also was using it. As you can see, he has Flare Cannon on his and Flash Cannon, so he's running Stab instead. But no, this set is cool. Really, really nice. Revenge Killer. It sits at a decent speed tier. It hits 376, which just outspeeds Tornadus, I think. I'm pretty sure. Right? I want to say it does. What's Tornadus-T hit? I want to say Tornadus-T hits 375 and Magearna hits 376. Fantastic. My memory is good. So yeah, Magearna's faster than a lot of stuff. It's able to revenge kill stuff like Garchomp too, because they can't scale shot into it. And a lot of the times, even if it's kind of like, even if you would switch hard into your Magearna and people would be like, oh, he'd only do that if he Scarf, they'll still stay in, because the idea of Scarf Magearna is just too outrageous to switch out and end your sweep. People are greedy, bro. People are greedy by nature. I'm sure all of you can understand that too, being Pokemon players. But I think Specs is also really good because there's no switch-ins, right? Still, Heatran and Ferrothorn get sauced up by Focus Blast or Aura Sphere, whatever you want to run. I think Aura Sphere is better than Focus Blast on Specs. I only use Focus Blast, but I miss it all the time, so Aura Sphere is probably better. But yeah, that thing has no counters thanks to Volt Switch and Trick. letting it beat any defensive mon. So Specs Magearna is a GOAT. Definitely the most busted set, in my opinion. I can see this thing getting banned down the line, but we'll see. Pex, 18.91% usage, number 7. Yeah, Pex is GOAT. But there's a lot of new things coming in that kind of hurt Pex. You see Nidoking's bitch ass everywhere. Slowbro, who everyone and their mom is using now. The Slowbro Galarian, I mean. Or Slowking Galarian. Nidoking was at number 20 usage. He was at number 40 last time. This thing is literally going to get up to top 10. The agency has done it again. We turn mons into gems out here. But yeah, Pex is classic. I ain't got much to say. Toxic Spikes knockoff. Fuck out of here. Zapdos top 10 is cool. Zapdos slowly inching its way up. You guys know I'm a big Zapdos user. I used to always hate this mon because I hate static. It's cheap, but I just can't help it anymore. It's too good. This one's pressure. But this is just an example of the 4 moves you're going to see on this thing every time. Discharge, Hurricane, Roost, Default. You could see Volt Switch potentially. But I love the defensive set a lot. This guy's set is kind of mixed. He has some defense and a decent amount of special attack. But most of the time, I like to just go full Fizz Def or full offensive. I like to either pick a side. But, I mean, mixed is probably good too. I didn't make the EVs on that team, so I can't talk on them. But this is a set I'm most likely to be seen with. Volt Switch, Hurricane, Roost, Default. You can also run Discharge. Discharge is cool because it lets you paralyze Heatran, which is always nice, but Volt Switch keeps the momentum up. Definitely nice on a team like this, where there's a Urshifu and a Tapu Lele, Magmatran, all that good shit. So Zapdos is able to kind of stay offensive and defensive. Remember what I said. A defensive Pokemon that can keep up some type of offensive momentum and capabilities is invaluable, right? Ferrothorn, all that shit. Zapdos is the same thing, right? Because it has access to Volt Switch, and its Hurricane is damn strong too. Not to mention static. It counters U-turn in a single move. This mon is annoying, right? Another reason this thing is top 10 is because it switches into every Mosa hit besides the ice ones and threatens back with paralysis. It can tank a wicked blow, threaten back with paralysis. Zapdos is A1, one of the best mons in the meta. Very low opportunity cost to using this thing, especially with the fact that it got boots now. Yeah, there's like a 0 opportunity cost to using this thing now. It's like super good. I see it moving up in December. Heatran number 9 has gone down. Heatran hype has worn off. It's not in the top 5 anymore. I agree, it's not top 5. People are finding their ways to move around Heatran. Without the Z move, it does have trouble breaking through some stuff. That being said, Taunt Magma Storm is still a goated set. It has problems with Shed Packs, and Feeny kind of beats it nicely now. But there are a couple of sets you can run. I've gotten messed up by Magma Storm plus Solar Beam with the Power Herb. That's a very decent set. But in general, a lot of things have just been able to deal with Heatran a little bit better. It's not, I guess, the mon it once was. Landorus-T can take it on. Clef can always knock off. Mosa and Urshifu obviously beat it. Mag is now realizing to just run Choice rather than the Calm Mind bullshit. Because all that Calm Mind Iron Defense stuff is not good anymore. With Heatran and Slowking and all that stuff. It's just not worth it. But the Specs in the Scarf set are obviously able to threaten Heatran, or at least do something to where Heatran isn't just destroying them like it was Calm Mind. Zapdos can Volt Switch out, threaten with Discharge. Spectrier can just nuke this thing with 2 hits of Mud Shot or Shadow Ball. And then you look at some other Pokemon and they all can kind of deal with Heatran to some degree. Not to say that Heatran is bad. I mean, it's top 10. But people are starting to understand that it's a little bit easier to deal with Heatran now. It's not like an unbeatable mon. But that being said, it's still one of the nicest mons to just throw on your team. It's very, very good. I only really run Magma Trapper. That's a set with Solar Beam. But yeah, Magma Protect is really my bread and butter. When it comes to running this thing, I think that's the best set you can run with Taunt, or you can run Magma Toxic Taunt to deal with Blissies and stuff even more. But Magma Taunt should be enough because they don't run leftovers anymore, right? So then we'll have Spectrier at number 10. Now, I've seen a couple of different Spectrier sets. People have been telling me that the Substitute setup set is the best. Sub Nasty Plow Wisp Hex rather than Choiced. But I mean, if you look in the top 10, there's no Ghost Resist here in the first place to take a Spec Shadow Ball. So I mean, that's kind of telling. Right? Urshifu gets like 2 KO'd by Spec Shadow Ball, and the rest of them get fucked. You look at the top 5 here, they all die. You look at these 5 except for Mandibuzz. And then you look at these 5, and then you finally got the real things like Tyranitar, Blissey. You know, people are running Spadef Hydreigon, no joke, because that lives Spectrier too. I'm sure some of you have seen that on the ladder. I had a Specs Blacephalon going for Shadow Ball. Hydreigon switched in, took 25%. I was mind blown. Ha ha ha. No pun intended. I mean, kinda though. So anyway, yeah, Spec is a classic. I think Specs is good. Nasty Plot is obviously a really strong option too. I can see why Sub Nasty Plot would be very good. This thing is still able to force all the switches thanks to that fucking ability. Plus the fact that Hex is really, really strong and it's never been harder to lay up hazards. This thing is, never been easier to lay up hazards such as T-Spikes. That's another reason Spectrier is really annoying, because people will play it in the back until their Toxapex and Zapdos have statused your whole team with T-Spikes and Static, and then Spectrier comes in and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna lose to Hex. That's why I even saw Rest Tyranitar at one point on the ladder. But that's a top 10. Pretty boring top 10, I'm not gonna lie. None of these are that fun mons to use. I mean, most is fun, but it's because it's broken, but yeah. Alright, but pretty classic nonetheless. I thought it would take a while for these things to be established, but Landorus-T and Clef at the top is classic shit. Now let's go through 11 through 40, because these are pretty crazy. Feeny has steady rising up to number 11, no surprise there. I think it might be top 10 going forward. One of the best picks for offense. Again, one of those defensive mons with crazy offensive capability, high ass speed. My favorite sets are Trick Scarf and Taunt, Defog. So yeah, Cinderace number 12. Cinderace got hit hard by Landorus-T going to number 1, as well as Pex being up so high, but that shit's still broken to be banned in the future. Rillaboom and Melmetal, just two guys that hit hard. That's really how I see them. They're just two mons that click their stab attacks, but they're being limited by the fact that the top 10 has a lot of annoying shit for them, mainly Heatran, Mosa, Zapdos annoying both of them, Moltres annoys both of them. They lose like the same shit. Garchomp at number 15. Garchomp is a GOAT. Garchomp is an actual like GOAT Pokemon. It's gotten tremendously better in this generation. Those of you who know me know I wasn't really big on Garchomp back in Gen 6 and Gen 7. But in Gen 8, I find it very, very good. I think Swords Dance Stealth Rock is really strong. I think Swords Dance 3 attack with Scale Shot is very cool. Earthquake Stone Edge. I even used that meme Blunder Policy set, which is obviously just for like shits and giggles. But the SD3 attack set is very, very nice. This thing is strong. This thing has decent enough bulk. Its speed tier is great. It's able to outspeed stuff like Urshifu and Landorus-T, and just in general, its earthquakes are strong, right? +2 earthquake can clear out Heatran, Toxapex, Magearna. You can Stone Edge the Zapdos, and you can also use Scale Shot to turn yourself into a sweeper. So I do think Garchomp is really, really good. I like Helmet Rocks as well, so yeah. Swampert steady and OU steady at the top 20, number 16 in usage. Yup, that guy's just a classic, doing what he always does. Puts up his rocks, and then he gets out of there, right, with Flip Turn, right? This is basically it. This is the Spidef set, but I like Fizdef too. Both are fine. This is basically the 4 moves I think are worth using. I don't think you should run any other moves. I don't think Protect is worth it without Toxic. But Flip Turn is basically the shit that made this thing so annoying, and it's basically turned it into a mini Tapu Fini. Moltres 17, I've been gassing up Moltres forever. This thing is one of my favorites. Both defensive and offensive are really, really good. Here's an example of defensive. Just a whole lot of speed for modest max speed Heatran, but makes sense when you're running Scorching Sands. And then the offensive set is right here. This is the set that me and Suave got to like 2070 on the ladder with this. Number 9. This is a crazy team. Offensive Moltres, just modest max special attack, max speed. It just has good coverage. It's just a hard mon to switch into all around, and the Flame Body is obviously doing it a lot of favors in that regard too. Mandibuzz number 18. Mandibuzz is really, really good right now. Checks Rillaboom, which is above it in usage. It checks Spectrier too really well, but Wisp Hex Spectrier can fuck that thing up. You just gotta watch out. But yeah, Mandibuzz is Mandibuzz. It's one of the few mons that is also good at defogging, so gotta stay up there. Pelipper is number 19. I think Rain is really good. I was using this Rain team that we were also able to get top 10 with. That's the best part about this meta. You can get top 10 with literally anything. Like, and I'm not even joking when I say we got top 10 with it, because you guys have seen the lives. But yeah, this is a Rain team. I think defensive Pelipper is cool. I think it's pretty nice that it can check stuff like Mosa, which is kind of surprising for being a shitmon. But yeah, it gets up Rain nicely now, and Rain is just really strong in general with Tornadus and shit like that. Still has Kingdra and all them too. Yeah, I don't like Specs that much. I don't think it's that good, but defensive is good. The King number 20. Yes, sir. I'm not surprised that the GOAT is number 20. This mon was number 40 2 weeks ago, and now it's number 20. Lord knows we're going to get to top 15 by the next cycle, and then we're getting to the top 10. I wish. Yeah, Nidoking is a beast. It shits on everything in OU. You look at the top 10 and they all die. You look at the top 40 and they all die. Literally everything has, like, it has a move for everything except Blissey. And you can run Taunt or Superpower if you really want to get rid of Blissey. Seriously, I've thought about running 4-attack Superpower. But yeah, the coverage is fantastic. The dual stab Sludge Wave Earth Power is great, and then you run either Flamethrower or Ice Beam as your last pick. Or you can run both and then forgo Taunt or Superpower, but I personally want to move to deal with Blissey. But yeah, this thing is a GOAT. You can even run Stealth Rock or Toxic Spikes on this thing. Stealth Rock is cool because it turns it into a mini breaker, just because a lot of mons that defog can't really defog on this, aka Zapdos, Moltres, they getting hit up. Tapu Fini's obviously getting smoked, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really got much to say about Nidoking. I have quite a few teams with it on here actually. You can see that thing it's impressive. This is the taunt 3 attack. I think this is also, oh, this is T-Spike's 3 attack, so that's with the Suicune. This one is sub 3 attack. That's the set we used in the beginning. That did so much work for us. But I don't really think Ice Beam is that mandatory. See, this one's even Scarf. Ice Beam is definitely great, but it's not that mandatory with the recent Zygarde and whatever his name is ban. Zygarde and Lando I. Because you can just Flamethrower to a KO Landorus-T if it's not defensive. But yeah, Nidoking is a GOAT. Slowbro 21, everybody and their mom loves using Future Sight Teleport Slowbro, but in due time, people are going to realize that Galarian Slowking is literally better than this thing. But no, this thing is pretty good. It's able to check all the physical bullshit like Cinderace and Melmetal. But even then, people just like it because Future Sight's broken alongside Teleport, and Teleport is really, really difficult to beat. Like, Future Sight Teleport is just a brainless good set. Like, this set has very few countermeasures. And paired with Breakers, it's very hard to beat Teleport plus Future Sight. So, Slowbro I don't think is ever going to fall out of OU. I don't see it falling out of OU for the rest of the gen. Future Sight plus Teleport is too broken. Drill down to 22. This is purely because Landorus is at the top. That's the only thing that changed. Drill is still a very potent sweeper with SD. I don't think it's good at anything else. I just think it's good at SD. I don't think it's good at anything else. I don't think the defensive sets are worth your time. Tyranitar 23. I finally like Tyranitar again. I finally enjoy using Tyranitar again, and I finally consider it a good OU Pokemon, which is great. That's refreshing, right? It's great. It's refreshing to feel that Tyranitar finally belongs in this bitch again, and I do think it does. Tyranitar is awesome. So this is a set I'm using. Stealth Rock 2 attack plus Thunder Wave, just full Spadef. You can kind of customize the EVs however is perfect for your team, but I do believe that Stealth Rock and Thunder Wave are the best options. Now, Thunder Wave is your classic bullshit tech. Thunder Wave is the thing you run on Mon when you don't expect it to do much for the game. When you need that shit to just while out and do something, you just put Thunder Wave on it. Like, that's really how this goes, right? You just put Thunder Wave and you hope you can hit whatever. And then if you hit something, you're like, ah, great. We did what we needed to do. Let's be honest here. So, Rock Blast and Ice Beam are just your coverage moves. Rock Blast is just there to deal with, like, sub Spectrier or whatever. Moltres, Zapdos too. And then Ice Beam is there to hit Landorus. But you can run different options. I don't think Choice is that good or whatever. Maybe Bandit is decent, but, like, I doubt it. Like, what would Bandit do versus a team like this? Not to say defensive does much versus a team like this either, but shit. Yeah, I don't see the point of offensive Tyranitar. I think defensive with rocks is very good, and keeping up sand support is always nice for drill. Blissey at 24. Dude, Blissey's good, which is annoying. It's hella annoying that it beats all the special attackers, but I mean, things have, like, the top 10 fucks with Blissey hard. Clef sets up on it. I think the best Blissey is the one with both T-Wave and Toxic, if it could possibly fit that, but unfortunately it can't because they all run Teleport. Wish Pass is very hard to defeat as well because it heals every Mon to 100% no matter what. It's not like Clef's wishes. These wishes heal you to 100. But yeah, Teleport's annoying. Boots is annoying because you can't even damage it with rocks. But it gets fucked by Heatran and stuff like that, so hit or miss. Coco 25. People are starting to realize Coco's really good. Specs is great. Nidoking is a good switch in, but Landorus-T and Garchomp obviously cannot take the Specs Dazzling Gleam, and then everything else gets hit pretty hard by the electric moves. Hippo went down in usage too. I guess, although I guess Grass Knot exists for it, but I like Specs Coco. Coco also has the support options of bringing the electric terrain to the team. That's what helped me power up the Blaziken here. And just in general, it's a nice fast Mon. Nice no bullshit Mon. Like, you look at the Mons in the 5 after Coco, and it can threaten Oko all these Mons with just its stab attacks. Buzzwole 26. I predict Buzzwole to slowly fall out of favor. This thing's stupid. It just soft checks Mosa and Urshifu, and that's like it. Whatever. I'll be running Acrobatics or Urshifu now. Fuck your Buzzwole. Tornadus 27. That's kind of surprising. I think Torn should go up. I think it's really, really good. I think Nasty Plot Torn and the Rain is insane. I think it's like the best Mon in the Rain, which is Hurricane, Weather Ball, Nasty Plot, and then whatever you want to run as the last move. Defensive is probably decent too with knockoff support, but I guess right now people are just less inclined to use it. I think it's going to go up in usage though for sure. Latios 28. Latios is still fantastic. I hope it stays OU for the whole gen. I think it will. I think Specs is the best set far and wide. I don't understand why it's 28th in usage. I think it's better than all of these 5 personally. It's not better than Nidoking, but it's better than these 5. I mean, you just throw out the right Specs hit, but I don't know. We'll see. Urshifu Water in 29th. That's interesting. Urshifu is really, really good. The Water version too. But it suffers stiff competition from the Dark type ones, so that people really only want to use this thing on Rain, which I understand. Nevertheless, the banded version of Urshifu Rapid Strike is really good. Dragapult at 30. Our brother is slowly falling down in usage. The world is returning to its rightful place. People only like Scarf on this thing these days. And even then, the power ain't enough. That 100 base power has finally been exposed as dog shit. As Mosa, Magearna, Heatran, Spectrier, and Urshifu take over Landorus. All the mons with attacking stats here have like 1 million attack. Dragapult's 100 is dog shit now in comparison. That being said, I still think a physical Dragapult can have some type of use. Barrascuda is just your rain one-trick pony. That's it. You have to run on rain. As long as rain is good, this thing is good. Corv at 32. I like seeing Corv's usage go down. It still has a good role as a PP staller, but that's about it. Cart 33. I like Scarf Cart, but that's it. But it suffers a lot of problems, mainly Pex, Zapdos, and Moltres. And then the fact that Mosa and Mag are kind of annoying too. However, I still think it's really good. You can pair it with grassy terrain as well to kind of fuck everything up. I still think SD, Bandit, Scarf, they're all good sets. I think Cart is just underexplored. But I see that thing steadily moving up in the coming weeks, months too. Hydreigon 34. Hydra's always going to be good. It just has competition from the mons faster than it. If you match it up versus the top 10 though, it's not bad. Its Nasty Plot set would still smoke this. It's walled by Feeny, which is quite annoying, and it gets checked nicely by like Garchomp, Cinderace, Latios, Coco, shit like that. But either way, it's still able to throw some hits off. For the most part, I see people running defensive sets nowadays with like Defog and Spadef, which is whack because you're able to tank like Zapdos, Moltres, Spectrier, all that shit. But fuck that. I'm always running offensive on this mon. Lele 35. It's cool that Lele went up to OU. It deserves to be an OU. Terrain got nerfed, but it's still pretty damn good with just Focus Blast and Psychic. You can see the majority of Pokemon are not able to switch into that combo. Calm Mind's good too, and then of course you can't forget the fact that it puts up the Psychic Terrain, so it stops all priority, so you can obviously pair that with something else, which could be cool. So yeah, I think Lele is great. And then we get to our final 5. Hippo 36. Hippo does what it does, gets up rocks, sticks around, keeps sand up. Aleki 37. This is interesting because this thing is dangerously close to falling into UU. I wouldn't have expected that. I still think this thing is good, but Landorus being number 1 is obviously going to fuck this thing up. Slow King, Lean King, whatever you want to call him, Galarian Poison Slow King is fantastic with Assault Vest. That's a set that has this thing in OU. It's very, very hard to beat. It's hard to one-hit KO with any special move. It's goddamn bulky. And the combination of Psychic, Poison, Fire, and Water-type moves, that's me referring to Future Sight, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, Scald, or Surf, or Hydro, whatever you want to run. The combination of those moves is very hard for the metagame to switch into. If you look at, like, everything here gets hit almost super effectively or just hit hard by that attack, because Slowking's strong too. And then you look at these things and they all get hit pretty hard, not to mention the fact that it has Future Sight. People run Teleport as well. I just like Assault Vest, but some people run Teleport and all that shit too, I think. Wait, does it even get Teleport? I don't think it gets Teleport. I think I capped. I think I made that shit up. I don't even think it gets Teleport. Hold on. I think I capped. Yeah, I capped. Okay, it doesn't get it. Okay. But yeah, this is a set I was running, Modest and just a little bit of Spadef. But you can see that these are very good. Even without the AV, it's so strong. This set was able to tank an Earth Power from Nidoking. It took 85% with no Assault Vest. I got knocked off, so I took 85% and I one-hit KO'd him back with Psychic, just clean. So this thing is fantastic. It's going to keep going up in usage. Zygarde's banned, and then Dragonite barely stays in at number 40. Yeah, Dragonite's going to fall off and go to UU in the next shift, most likely, which is sad, but yeah, it's not hitting in this meta. It doesn't really have too much of a position here. It's just hard to expect much out of this mon, I think. People aren't really convinced much on Dragonite. There's not a lot of different ways to run it. I do think Bandit and DD have their potential, but it's just, I don't know. I'm going to have to make a better team with that thing, but I do think Dragonite's still great. But that being said, that's basically my thoughts on the meta. I know I kind of wrapped it up quickly at the end because there were so many mons to go through, but we got to run back to the first point that the tiering is probably fried if all these beautiful Pokemon are now NU. We got Flygons, we got Machamp, Mantine, Rhyperior. How is Rhyperior, Flygon, like Arctozolt, Archie? Like, what the fuck? I really am. I wonder why they changed it from 3.4 to 4.5. Maybe because it was more Pokemon. But damn, it just makes me curious to see what's gonna happen next. We got the disrespect of Blaziken and Zapdos, Galarian going to UU. The fact that Blaziken passed Uber. That shit was Uber for 3 gens straight. You know what you call it? You call that triple Ubers, baby. Aha. But no, for real. How did that thing go to UU? Seriously. But yes, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I had to make this video before I even did any type of live because I was just so shocked. I was like, this is crazy. But yeah, go check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Link the Smogon stuff in the description. Also, again, we're doing that giveaway, so go check that out. Link in the description. Like I said, you don't gotta follow or nothing. Just retweet. We want to do something fun for y'all. And hey, good luck. Hope you win. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Another video later today. Peace out.